Do you spend hours stuck in your own mind, analyzing every choice, imagining every worst case scenario, and still not moving forward? Overthinking doesn't make you smarter. It keeps you trapped, paralyzed, and missing opportunities. If you want to break free and start winning in life, you need to stop overthinking and start acting decisively. Today, we will talk about stop overthinking, start winning. 1. You overanalyze every decision. Overthinking keeps you trapped in a loop where every choice feels overwhelming. You spend hours weighing pros and cons, imagining worst-case scenarios, and questioning yourself endlessly. This habit slows down action and kills momentum. Life doesn't reward perfect decisions, it rewards timely ones. The more time you spend analyzing, the more opportunities pass you by. Winning requires action, even when the path isn't perfectly clear. By overanalyzing, you train your brain to fear mistakes and avoid risk. The moment you recognize that perfect clarity is an illusion and choose to act anyway, you break free from the paralysis that overthinking creates. Small steps, taken consistently, eventually lead to big results and build confidence in your decision-making. 2. You fear failure more than you desire. Success. Fear of failure is a huge driver of overthinking. Every choice is filtered through, what if I fail, instead of what can I gain? You avoid risks, procrastinate, and second-guess yourself constantly. This fear creates mental roadblocks that prevent progress, making success seem distant or impossible. The reality is that failure is not the enemy, it is feedback. Those who win embrace failure as a learning process, an understanding that mistakes are temporary and essential for growth. Overthinking is often a mask for fear. When you start valuing progress over perfection, fear loses its grip, and you can start moving decisively towards your goals. 3. You rely too much on advice. Seeking guidance is normal, but constantly asking for opinions and waiting for validation slows you down. You overthink because you rely too heavily on what others might say or do. Every new opinion adds more confusion, creating analysis paralysis. While advice can be valuable, it cannot replace action. Winning comes from taking responsibility for your choices and learning through experience. Overthinking grows when you give away decision-making power to others instead of trusting yourself. The moment you commit to your plan, adjust along the way, and learn from direct experience, overthinking loses its control. Confidence comes from doing, not endlessly debating options. 4. You focus on problems, not solutions. Overthinkers often dwell on obstacles instead of opportunities. You spend more energy worrying about what could go wrong than figuring out how to move forward. This keeps you stuck in mental loops without creating actual progress. Success requires solution-focused thinking, prioritizing actions over anxiety. Every problem has a manageable step that moves you closer to results. When you obsess over difficulties instead of exploring answers, you reinforce a mindset of helplessness. By shifting your focus from problems to actionable steps, you stop overthinking and start winning. Your energy transforms from worry into momentum, and clarity emerges naturally through action. 5. You compare yourself to others. Constantly overthinking is fueled by comparison. You watch others' achievements, lifestyles, or opinions, and question if your choices measure up. This creates self-doubt, hesitation, and endless mental debate. Comparison is dangerous because it is based on incomplete information. You never see all the struggles, failures, or unseen work behind someone else's success. Winners focus on their path, track their progress, and use comparison as inspiration, not judgment. Overthinking declines when you stop measuring yourself against others and start focusing on your growth. Every day spent trying to match someone else's journey is a day lost from building your own. 6. You lack clear goals. Overthinking thrives in the absence of clarity. If you do not know exactly what you want, every decision feels critical and stressful. Uncertainty breeds hesitation and endless internal debates. Without a clear target, your mind fills the gaps with doubts and what-ifs. Clear goals act as a compass. They define your direction, help you prioritize choices, and reduce unnecessary mental clutter. When you know what winning looks like for you, decision-making becomes simpler. Overthinking diminishes because each choice can be evaluated against your goal, creating confidence and purpose. Clarity turns action into a natural, focused process. 7. You try to control everything. Overthinkers often believe that controlling every outcome will prevent mistakes or failure. This illusion is exhausting and impossible. Life is unpredictable, and attempting total control leads to constant mental loops and indecision. Winners accept uncertainty, focus on what they can influence, and take imperfect action despite unknown variables. Overthinking grows when you obsess over what is out of your control instead of directing energy toward actions that actually matter. The moment you release the need to control everything and commit to doing your best with the resources you have, you experience freedom, momentum, and clarity. 8. You procrastinate through planning. Overthinking often disguises procrastination as preparation. You tell yourself that you are researching, planning, or analyzing, when in reality you are avoiding action. Every hour spent planning without implementing is wasted time. Winners know that perfect planning is an illusion. Action reveals gaps, teaches lessons, and generates real results. Overthinking prolongs the false sense of productivity, while progress remains stagnant. By setting deadlines, committing to start, and adjusting along the way, you convert planning into action. Momentum begins the moment you take the first step, no matter how imperfect. 9. You are too hard on yourself. Perfectionism and self-criticism fuel overthinking. You imagine every possible mistake and replay past decisions, punishing yourself mentally for any perceived error. This keeps you trapped in cycles of doubt and hesitation, making even simple decisions feel overwhelming. Winning requires self-compassion, the understanding that mistakes are inevitable and progress matters more than perfection. By reducing mental pressure and treating yourself as a learner rather than a failure, you stop overthinking and focus on growth. Each action, even imperfect, builds confidence, skills, and results, replacing mental loops with constructive momentum. Being too hard on yourself also drains energy that could be used for productive action. It creates unnecessary stress and anxiety, which cloud judgment and reduce your ability to perform at your best. Mentally strong individuals recognize the difference between constructive self-reflection and destructive self-criticism. 10. You lack a sense of urgency. Overthinking thrives when there is no urgency. You delay decisions, assuming there is plenty of time, while opportunities pass unnoticed. This creates a false sense of control and prolongs indecision. Real winners act with urgency. They prioritize, commit, and execute immediately, even if conditions are imperfect. The longer you wait to start, the more overthinking grows, and the more stagnant your life becomes. Acting decisively, even in small steps, breaks the cycle of hesitation, builds momentum, and generates progress. Urgency transforms intentions into reality, turning thoughts into actions and overthinking into winning results. Overthinking may feel like caution, but it's actually a roadblock to success. Winning comes from action, clarity, and urgency, not endless mental loops. Apply these strategies, trust yourself, and start making progress with confidence. If this helped you break free from hesitation, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell to never miss tips that turn thinking into winning.